Okay, got updates. Graphics are here. Ended up using lettering.com. Really nice people to deal with. Had a lot of starts and stops on this. It delayed me over a month. It was just really a mess. But now we got them. Time to move on. So, first thing I'm going to do is start out with some smaller bits. Get this on there. Now this large graphic, not even sure I'm going to use it, but I want to try it. Then we'll put it out there and see what you guys think. But I've got to do some custom cutting on that one. That's the side of the hood scoop, but you can see it's just kind of a big field and I have to trim it. So let's get started and see what happens. Okay, so I've never done this before, so bear with me. So I've got my first hood scoop graphic here, and first thing you do is put it on a nice flat surface and work out. Just make sure that the backer tape is really well stuck to the vinyl. This is cast vinyl. It actually has like little microscopic grids built into the back of it so that to let air escape and water. This happens to be an Oracle product. Yes, I know. I work for Avery Dennison. I couldn't get anybody to do it on Avery. That was part of what took so long. Anyway, so first thing I'm going to do, this basically is going to ride in here. But you can see there is quite a contour there. So I just made a big square and I'm intending on trimming it in place with a guide. So I have no idea how this is going to work. But let's give it a go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the front here to where I want the front of the letters here. Okay, after a couple tries, we got the stripe on there. I ended up having to lay a piece of tape in there and then use a pen like so and just mark the tape. Then took the tape, transferred it over to the decal, and cut it out by hand. That was the only way I could get that in there right. It was just not going to cut well on the car, and I was worried about digging into the paint. But those are on. The second one went on really well. Difference is I used more soap in the water on the second one. The first one was almost just a couple of drops of soap. But then it came out a little... Had a little tiny bubbles in here. I'm going to have to try to work out tomorrow once it dries. So the next step is to see what those quarter panel decals look like. Those ought to be a nightmare. But we'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. Okay, I've got the graphics kind of taped up there, centered up on both sides. So I'm going to use the wet method on this. I almost just don't dare not to. The nice thing is there's a number of, smaller pieces here. So if I get into, start seeing wrinkles, I can slit the paper in between them and see, get to relieve some stress that way. And of course, I've still got to trim up around the wheel well. There's a lot of this that just gets removed. But yeah, I'm gonna carry on with this. Okay, there's the graphic. What do you think? I kind of like it. Not sure if I'm gonna keep it. This is a keep or delete conversation. But I think it looks cool. These went on so much nicer than the hood ones. They just, water, bubbles, everything just pushed right out of them beautifully. So they went on spectacular. I've got one on the hood I may replace now that I've got my process down a little better. Put a little Pontiac logo down there. Everything I applied wet, except for these. I just did these dry. And these up here were wet. So that's it for the graphics. I think I am going to give this a little time. I'm going to try to work this one out a little more. There's just some like really small rough spots in it right here that I can't seem to get out. So I might have to play with that a little more. But all told, I kind of like it. So the next steps will be to start burying this in clear coat. Clear it like 3 or 4 coats just around the graphic. Scuff it first, just so it takes clear coat well. Then bury the graphic. Wet sand around it so it no longer has a profile on the side. It doesn't feel that thick. It's only like a couple thou. And then wet sand that, and then I'm ready for the final coat of clear. But I don't know. I kind of think it looks cool. That'd look good with some, chrome and black rims. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I'm going to post this, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, thank my friend Kevin for doing the graphic for me. And then, of course, I went out and had it cut at lettering.com. They did a fantastic job, quick turn, came out great. So, yeah, I'm going to try to mess around with that hood a little bit more while I let this dry and see what else we can do.